I see myself standing at the end of a passage that no longer pretends to continue, a corridor that has used up its purpose, leaving me without a next step to test, no edge to probe with my foot. The walls are finished with me. Still, inside, something keeps twitching, that reflex of mine older than reason, the urge to hunt for secret orders behind the visible, as if the surface of things were only a polite lie. I imagine coded lusts humming beneath the architecture, private hungers animating the network. Not rules exactly, but appetites, lubricating the machinery in rooms I never enter. All bets are already in. The game has moved on without announcing it. What remains is the dull procession of displacement, being knocked from one room to the next, a sequence of numbered chambers whose arithmetic no longer matters, doors opening only because others close, until inertia itself carries me forward, slowly plunging, burning not with fire but with friction, toward a final door that is already practicing how to seal. What once looked free, random, improvisational now reveals itself as having always been under control. Not dramatic, not cruel, just precise. A fixed roulette wheel bolted to the floor. The spin is allowed. The destinations are predetermined. No one cares where the ball lands tonight. Attention belongs to long-term statistics, to curves smoothed across years, to mass outcomes rather than singular bodies leaning hopefully over the edge. When rules entered sex, recreation, pleasure, they did not arrive as invaders. They were welcomed. Slowly, these spaces stopped being refuges from order and became its extensions, corridors branching from the same central engine. Desire learned to file reports. Ecstasy acquired metrics. Even error was given a form to fill out. We are building a world of layered alienation, strata upon strata, each cleaner, quieter, more efficient than the last. How do I speak when every sentence might be archived, flagged, misunderstood? How do I touch another person knowing that the smallest misstep can be logged as deviation? The world assembling around us hums with precision, immaculate and indifferent, increasingly mechanical and profoundly alone. And maybe that tendency to control everything isn't personal at all. Maybe it's a shared inheritance, a low fever passed hand to hand. We imagine mastery as safety. We mistake regulation for calm. We drift toward a temperature where nothing burns anymore, where passion itself feels excessive, suspicious, inefficient. All that remains of me is habit. The old compulsive scanning of surfaces for hidden inscriptions, for carefully coded directives leaking through the cracks of the visible. I still believe, against all evidence, that something secret must be coordinating this emptiness, that beneath the smooth protocols there is a script written in another ink. I listen for it in glitches and pauses, in the slight misalignment of events. I search not because I expect rescue, but because searching itself has not yet been fully regulated. It is in all of us, this impulse to control everything, yet folded inside, it is a quieter wish, more dangerous, the desire to be made into objects, to be relieved of subjecthood, to surrender the exhausting labor of choosing, deciding, doing. Objects do not hesitate. Objects do not betray themselves. They are spared the terror of responsibility. What once appeared free now reveals itself as having always been aligned, guided, engineered. The roulette wheel spins again, theatrically, while only the broad destinations matter. The system does not track footsteps. It tracks flows, It watches aggregates, not faces. Minuscule choices evaporate into averages. Control no longer needs force. It offers relief. It promises rest. And we step into its mechanisms willingly, mistaking the absence of friction for freedom, mistaking silence for peace. We imagine a future where passion itself has disappeared, archived like an extinct species. Beneath that fantasy is the deeper longing to surrender, to be remade as mute objects, relieved of the burden of being a subject. Everything that once felt spontaneous has been drafted into a larger directive. Control is no longer a perimeter. It is the air. The world speaks in spreadsheets. We are becoming a mass, a tissue of speechless cells, aligning, mouths closing, moving obediently toward an ending no one dares name, a terminal bloom beyond comprehension. Here, choosing dissolves. There is only momentum, only being carried by an ultimate faceless control.